Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Lauren and this is a review of Under Rose-Tainted Skies. Okay, so this book I completely loved, but we're going to do a breakdown anyway. I'll try to be constructive this time instead of just gushing. Under Rose-Tainted Skies is a book about a 17-year-old Nora who has agoraphobia, anxiety, OCD, and a little bit of depression as well. Now, each of these things can be enough to cripple a person on its own, and Nora is struggling with all of them. What I really liked about her characterization is despite, the way she feels about her illness, she's still hilarious. She's snarky and sarcastic, but also because the story is told from her point of view, we get to see the vulnerable side of her as well. The things that she knows are going to set her off, how she prepares for them, and then how terrible she feels about them afterwards. Since his work is written by an own voices author, it is told she captures Nora's emotions and feelings perfectly. Like there's a point where she feels like she's about to have an anxiety attack, and the feeling that you get when you kind of feel as if you're underwater, like your head is swimming and everything is muffled and you can just hear like whoa, 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 like everybody's voice is just all warped. She portrays that emotion, that feeling, and in the midst of that feeling, once you realize, oh crap, I'm having a panic attack again, it's perfectly portrayed. Nora is a character that I feel like is very easily to connect to because there's those vulnerabilities that she has. No matter what scale you feel them on, almost everybody, I'm pretty sure on some level, can relate to her. The love interest in this book is 17-year-old Luke, who is her next door neighbor. Nora is kind of having a little battle with a bird on her windowsill when she spies a neighbor moving in. And she's both attracted and resigned at the same time, like, oh hell, here we go. So that kind of put me off a little bit because I was immediately taken back to everything, and I thought this was going to be just like that, and there was so much stuff missing from that book for me. I was like, jeez. But it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So Luke is a very awkward teenager who moves in and is constantly trying to get her attention. And, at first she's just terrified and she's not really having it. Despite this, though, he is hell-bent on being in her life, getting to know her, being friends with her. And instead of being off-put by what she calls her illness, he just wants to know more. Okay, tell me what I need to be able to do, how I need to interact with you, what puts you off, what, helps, how best can I interact with you to be in your life because this place I want to be. He basically asks her how best to accomplish, being in her life in a way that is not gonna hinder her or not gonna set her off or set her back or just make her uncomfortable. He doesn't assume anything, he just asks, which I really appreciate. He doesn't go, I had this friend's uncle's cousin's grandma's cousin who had, had these things, and this is how she handled it, and she felt better if I bear hugged you, so let me just bear hug you. No, there was none of that in here. Not, at any point does he make her feel inadequate for her limitations, despite the fact that she eventually goes through this instance of trying to make him behave like a normal teenager because she doesn't want him to feel like she doesn't want him to get to the point to where he's resentful. So he, abides by her wishes, goes to this thing that she wants him to go to, and basically he leaves it as quickly as possible, and he just wants to get back to her. So it's a very, very cute love story. He does make some mistakes, or a mistake rather, but instead of just allowing her to push him away at that point, he does research. Okay, what was bad about that situation and why? How do other people react? What has helped them? He basically just does a butt ton of research to be able to see, okay, this is how this is going to be, and this is what I need to do if I want to be in a relationship with this person. Overall, I really appreciate the fact that this book didn't have that whole, like, the cute boy wasn't a magical cure-all for all of her problems. Like, she didn't magically start being able to go outside and interact with people and less anxious because now I have a boyfriend. Like, none of that happened. And even though, it is a romance story, as we go forth, again, there wasn't a magic fix-all. at the end. So even in the midst of their, ending, they're still working for it. They are. And so I feel like this book is relatable on so many levels. Like this it's a YA. It doesn't need that label on it, because regardless of if you're young, middle-aged, old, whatever, there is something that is highly relatable in this book. And just if you have specifically felt any of these emotions, it's like a freaking flashback and you go, oh God, and you just want to cry because you know exactly what she's feeling, and it's just the feels. I love this book thus far. It is a favorite of mine of 2017 and definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. And the ending, oh my God, I'm not even going to say anything about it. You just have to read this book. No matter where your tastes run, you've got to read this book. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.